Hi, my name is Jentri, and today I want to share a couple of resources as well as my daily routine for feeding my senior doggies homemade dog food. This is Anu, he's almost 17. This is Minnie, she's almost 12, going on 2. And today I'm going to, again, share with you some resources. The first is Dr. Harveys. And Dr. Harveys was a great resource for me. I did try his dog food. I do like it a lot. Ultimately, I decided to make all of my dog food myself, but his resources really did help. They come with this little booklet right here. And depending on your dog's weight and if your dog has certain issues, like my senior pug has kidney and liver issues, so he has to have low protein, low phosphorus, etc. This is a really helpful guide because outside of the scoops of canine health, if you're not going to get those, and water, you can still look to this as a reference for the ounces of protein as well as the teaspoons of oil that your dog should be receiving daily depending on the weight. And he gives you choices for the types of oils that are great for your pet that you can rotate in, as well as protein. I was always under the impression that if you change up the dog food, if you change up the protein, it's going to hurt your pet. Turns out that is a complete myth. And I have Dr. Harvey here, and me cooking and following his recipes, his guidelines to prove it. My dog was literally on death's doorstep, and I will tell you as I move along, I'm gonna assemble the food here for you so you can see how I do it. But literally I had nothing to lose because my dog was already declining, had pancreatitis, had elevated liver kidney issues. So I thought, what do I have to lose? I'm not gonna let these people fear-monger me into not trying to do something better for my animals or make me think that I'm not capable enough. I am not a veterinarian. This is not medical advice, but I have raised 3 pugs, 1 to 14, 1 to 15. Now 1 to 15, 16, and now Anu is almost 17. Minnie is almost 12. I have an extensive wealth of knowledge due to a great relationship that I had with a vet that would basically hold my hand and help me out every step of the way with all of the ailments that they had. And I just learned a lot because I paid attention and I care just like you. So Dr. Harvey's was a great resource, and I got my ratios actually for how much of the protein and the veggies, etc., from actually Dr. Jones, who's really huge here online. So I don't have to tell you about him. Probably if you're watching this, you're familiar. I'll also share these ratios and little bullet points with you below from these resources so that you don't have to try to go everywhere to find it. Now, what I like to do is I like to make everything in advance, and I'm not gonna lie to you. It is more work than I've ever done, but it's also the most rewarding because my dog was on death's doorstep 6 months ago. The vets actually said he's on borrowed time. And now we're 6 months later with a collapsed trachea and a myriad of health issues that keep fluctuating but appear to be stable. Even though in the past couple months he has started to have an occasional seizure, he's on anti-seizure medicine, which is helping. Now, I had some leftover potatoes, or I should say we did. So I'm throwing in a couple. I don't always have potatoes. I like to rotate different vegetables, and potatoes are just fine. We have Minnie's bowl over here as well. So I'm just gonna kind of use whatever I have that I know is safe and appropriate for their diet. Now, because I've done this so many times, for so many months now, I do not have to measure everything out exact because I have actually, done it so much. It's like making a cake. If you've done it so much that you can kind of eyeball how much goes in to what, but that is what I'm doing right now. Oops, green bean overboard. But green beans are super healthy. They tend to help keep your dogs feeling full. They're full of fiber, by the way. So we're doing a little bit of green beans. Don't always have green beans. I'll tell you the staples that I put into every single meal. Oops, we forgot to give Minnie a green bean. Let's go back here and give Minnie a couple green beans out of Manu's bowl. Every single day, regardless of which veggies I rotate in and out, I always use broccoli, always use organic broccoli. I personally like whenever you're making food like this, you're gonna find that you're gonna wanna do things that are easier on you because it's already so laborious. I buy the organic broccoli at Costco because it comes in 4 single packs that you can put in the microwave for 5 minutes, and it's done. And then I just put them in the fridge and just like portion them out every day like this. So he always gets broccoli no matter what. He's touching my foot right now. He's like, okay, Mom, I'm over this video. I'm ready to eat. And believe it or not, Minnie, she actually suffered with chronic UTIs, and she had to be on this dog food, which was helpful for controlling the UTIs, but we knew that that wasn't the most nutritious thing for her. Anything out of a can, just, common sense. It's not great. And after having her on it for almost 2 years, I thought, what if I just start feeding her the way that I'm feeding my pug? What could be the, benefits from that? So one thing, I'm running really low here on the sweet potatoes. I use sweet potatoes every day as well as the broccoli. So sweet potatoes, I'm going to cut those up. Don't worry about that, babe. I actually would love to have a little bit more sweet potato right now, but some days, it's just how it is. If I find that I'm a little low on something, I haven't had time, I'll go back and give it to them as a snack later on in the day. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I actually rotate. Minnie is being very impatient with me. And what happens? Minnie gets impatient, and then EVOO gets impatient, and then it all just goes downhill from there. But sweet potatoes, I usually have a lot more sweet potato. I need to boil some more, and again, I'll just use it for some treats. But I use whatever vegetables I have. Also peppers, believe it or not, peppers, these are diced leftover peppers, have a lot of vitamin C, really good. I just sprinkle some of those in the food as well. And then we make sure, as I said, to alternate the proteins. Because of his liver and kidney issues, I do eggs, but he doesn't actually get the yolk. Minnie can have a little bit of yolk. Did I finish my sentence when Minnie started? Okay, Minnie hasn't had any UTIs since she started this new dog food. That was my whole point. But EVOO can have, boy, this is stinky between the broccoli and the eggs, let me tell you. EVOO can have the egg whites. He just can't have a lot of the egg yolk, so we try to stay light on that. And then I will also, sometimes we'll use the yolk. I can put a tiny bit. It's just supposed to be low phosphorus, so give it to him for the little stinky value that dogs like. But I rotate the protein. So what I will do is I will actually boil the chicken, and then I will cut it up and I will put it in glass containers like this. Similarly, I do that with the broccoli and the sweet potatoes, and then I alternate again with like green beans, peppers, potatoes, other things that are dog friendly. But this is just some chicken that I boiled yesterday. We don't want to put any oils or salts or anything. Particularly if, because he has liver and kidney issues, we want to do low salt, low sugar, low protein, basically low everything. He eats way healthier than I do. Someone made a comment about that, and I was like, yes, I get it. I understand. So we rotate those. And then another thing I learned from Dr. Harvey is that you can rotate the oils. And while I do rotate the oils, this is one I'm using right now. I actually get it in the smaller containers deliberately. I used to get it in larger containers thinking it's a better deal. And monetarily speaking, it is a better deal, but I do not like oils to sit very long. I don't ever want them to get old, rancid. So I find that when I do smaller ones and get them more frequently, there's less of a chance of the oil going old or bad. So I already know that EVOO can have 2 pumps of oil on his food, and Minnie can have 1. And then I'll come back to this bowl. I make his, by the way, this is another little pro tip. If you make your food from scratch and you have a dog that wakes up super early, or maybe you have to get up super early and go to work and don't really have time to do this whole ensemble of making homemade food in the morning, I make his dog food, his breakfast basically, at night. Then I put something over it to protect it, put it in the fridge, and then when he gets up, I literally just hand it to him. Throw his supplements on top. He gets Quinn. He has his CBD, things like that. And I just make sure that they're in nice edible sizes for their size and their chewing capabilities. Minnie obviously is tiny, and I think she could probably chew things quicker. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think? Than a new? He's pretty good at eating at his old age.
It still doesn't have any issues eating.
He has no issues eating, let me tell you. So again, I'm gonna mix some more sweet potato, probably give it to him as a snack. This is just what I had left over, so this is just where we are right now. And don't ever feel like, oh my gosh, if I haven't given him everything in this one meal, I'm screwed. If I don't have any protein, I boil an egg and I give it to whenever the egg is done. Super easy. Anu gets his mid-morning or early afternoon snack, which is some oatmeal and blueberries. I was trying to do grain-free just because I thought that might be better for him, but I started adding the oatmeal because I was giving him the blueberries, and I noticed that it was a little acidic for him. So in some cases you have to be careful of that. I can give him apple, I just can't, I'm just like, don't want to give him too much apple and on an empty stomach. Likewise, too much blueberry on an empty stomach. But when I mixed the oatmeal, I found that it was really easier on him, on his digestive system. So this is where we are right now. This is where we are. This is what it looks like. If you're wondering why I have a person bowl here, it's because sometimes I will give him a little milk, not cow's milk, but I'll do a little oats milk, natural oats milk with a tiny bit of honey and water as a little treat during the day, because in his old age, he has actually stopped drinking water altogether. So I'm just recycling the bowl that I used earlier. Normally we're using bowls like this that are a lot sturdier for, the animals. This will go in Minnie's little elevated food tray. And then one last thing that I do is, if you're wanting something to help with liver, one of the best things that I've ever been prescribed from the doctor that helped actually Anu's dad is this hepatose support. And when I realized that I could get it online, I didn't actually have to get it through the vet. I started buying it regularly for his dad, and I believe that it helped him. There was a time when his dad, he was a pug too, obviously, went to the vet and they told him, look, this dog, I don't know how he's alive with his elevated values right now for his liver. And this was one of the things they prescribed us along with the antibiotics. So this, I believe, is life-saving now that his son, Anu, the 17-year-old pug, has elevated liver issues. I'm going straight for the hepatitis support. I give it to Anu every single day as a supplement, and I just sprinkle it in his food, and miraculously it must not taste like anything, because it doesn't make a stink about it. He never has acted like it tastes bad. So I'm just literally mixing it in, and that's it. You mix it in and you're good as gold. Another thing, occasionally I will rotate probiotics, and whenever I do rotate probiotics, they're really easy to just sprinkle over the food as well. I've used Dr. Andrew Jones' probiotic mix before, and I really liked it. It was a little pricey, and I have to also give Anu a few medications. So sometimes I have to kind of like pick and choose that month what I'm going to invest in. And so I always 100% always do the hepatitis support because of his condition. Always do the fish oil. Always do the Quinn for his joints and arthritis. Always do the homemade meals, and then occasionally, like I said, rotate in probiotics. But actually probiotics can be obtained through a lot of nutrients, so I do a lot of research on that and try to incorporate that so that they get that from a natural food source as well. So there's so many things that you can do. This is not medical advice. I'm a licensed esthetician, not a veterinarian, but these are the things that I do that have helped my doggies. And due to your comments, or because of your comments, I know that you care about your dogs too, and you're an animal lover like me. So I just wanted to be able to give back and do this video because I realized there's not a whole lot of videos like this. If you have any questions, please drop them down below. Remember, and like and subscribe to my channel and set your notification bell so that you know whenever I drop a new video. I am here to serve you. And also remember, the more you know, the more you glow. Ciao for now. Annie, say bye. Bye.